invited to the September 11th County Commission meeting. We're gonna start with Commissioner Moore to lead us in a word of prayer and pledge.
Thank you for joining me in prayer. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, dear Lord, for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. Father, we just thank you for your grace and mercy. Father, we ask a blessing upon the victims of the 9/11 tragedy that affected our country years ago. We pray, Father, that you keep us all in your care. Dear Lord, we ask that you forgive us of our sins. And Father, we pray that we handle this meeting in accordance to your will. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. All right, roll call. All commissioners, Commissioner Waller is present. Mr. Waller's out of town today. We'll take a motion for adoption of the agenda.
So,
I have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, we'd like to pull the road department item. The surveys were not complete for the,
That's on the Frank Morgan.
yes, sir.
Okay, full. All right.
Yep, the surveys weren't complete for the maintenance map, so we'd like to pull that to the next meeting. Yes, sir.
All right, having that addendum to the agenda, to strike Public Works, I have a motion and a second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Moore. All those in favor of the adoption of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, we're gonna skip petitions from the public because we're probably gonna go into most of them with new business. I'm gonna move down to approval of the minutes for the regular meeting held August 28th. Also approval of minutes for the special meeting held August 30th. Approval of minutes for the budget workshop August 9th, budget workshop August 14th. Also the budget workshop on the 28th of August, and the budget workshop for the September 3rd, as well as the 4th. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we accept all the minutes as presented with corrections if there be any.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adoption of approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. They have it. We're going to move now to, the consent agenda, which, I will take a motion for the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if you're gonna move on to the consent agenda before petitions for the public, you're gonna have to accept comments on the consent. You gotta have comments on matters before I vote on them.
Okay. So, all right, all right. Okay. All right. That's probably probably Bria on board.
You gonna let me talk?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for allowing me to talk. I've been intending to come talk to you for several weeks, and Pastor Lamar set me up so perfectly last time by talking about process at the end of the meeting, asking you what process is. I've been attending these meetings for quite some time. I also attend NCDC, Planning and Zoning. I'm a member of TDC. I go to city council meetings. I'm watching what's happening in the county because I love it and because what happens here matters to me. My home is here, my community's here, and what you do matters to me. So I see some really good things happening. I see all of you being much more professional, how you interact with each other, how you dress, the way that you pay attention to the public as people come up here and talk to you. Way, better than it was when I first started coming to meetings. I see, but I have a concern about process. So 2 improvements that I've seen, Renee Dumps with the RV park, figured out some of the holes in her process. And she learned what her process is, and she came to you and really amped it up. She is doing a great job, and it is supporting you beautifully in how she is moving forward. Another great improvement is what Phyllis Williams and Brenda Graham are doing with TDC. They have a process in place that they're paying attention to. They have paperwork in place that they can refer to you, and hopefully, you've read the paperwork in your packets today, and you will see how that is supporting you in making a decision that will come before you today. But there are things that are not working so well. In the last meeting, the county employee, I believe his name is Frankie Robinson, came to talk to you. And in the beginning, he made 2 requests of you. The first one was that the county consider sending out letters to property owners whose property was going to be affected by what the work that his group was doing. The second request was, and he held up his policy and procedure manual for all of us to see, that he and his coworkers be supported in knowing what to do in an emergent crisis type of situation. Both of those requests got bypassed in the emotion of what happened with the sheriff's office. That was not his intent, I believe. His intent was to seek support for him and his coworkers and how he does his job. The process is really important. The blue building, we saw at the last meeting, how process might be questionable. You directed Brian Kaufman to, in light of the possible sale of the blue building, to find new homes for the current tenants. He went out and did that. He did a great job. He moved on it, he was prompt, there was an immediate response, but then the issue of process came up of how does all that work. The last example that I want to talk about, and I think maybe the most important, is with MCDC, the Madison County Development Council. For me, that's one of the most important councils in the county. Our economic development is questionable from time to time. That committee meets only once a quarter. They depend on what Brian Kaufman and Crawford Powell tell them, and they make a decision of recommendation that comes to you, and that decision may be made on 10 to 15 minutes worth of information. That's all the consideration that a big issue may get by that committee, and yet it comes to you and you make decisions based on the fact that they have recommended. I think we're lacking here in how we do things. The buck stops with you. You are the big cheeses here. You are the important people. And you deserve to be supported by the whole process of what comes before you. So I'm asking you to pay attention, to begin asking questions here. Over and over things come before you, you take in the information, but there are no questions. Today, the letter of intent for the blue building is gonna come. I reviewed it quickly. It raised a lot of red flags for me. I hope that in the process of you doing your work, you will ask some hard questions, particularly about funding. So thank you. I love this county. I appreciate all the hard work that you do, and I ask you to please pay more attention to process. It will support you and help you do your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. All right, Pastor Lamar, you are on the next one on. Do you want to speak now, or would you like to speak during the blue building?
I see now, the blue building's gone for us. My understanding, right?
Well, it'd be discussed
Yeah, but I just want to reiterate again, as we have through the Madison County Corporate, United Methodist Corporate Ministry, that a word of thanks again for the time spent in the Blue Building. We can't say thank you enough for the opportunity to serve this community. This was long going on before I even arrived on the scene, but there's been a lot of supportive people in and throughout our local churches and also the county that has worked hard to make this possible to minister to the different needs in this county, especially focusing on low-income issues and emergency issues of people that come up. And we're just, again, thank you for the opportunity to be able to do that and to utilize that building that has promoted that over the last 15 years. If you notice, there's a tax report in to that letter that we sent to you regarding the proposal, and it shows some of the information from last September to this August. Our store expenses is also the ministries that we have supported in financial figures. If you notice on there, we've had over $47,000 of income, and expenses you see there are a little over $16,000. But all the remaining balance between the expenses and the thrift store income went back into ministries. There's over almost $31,000 that has went back into the community. So we don't keep anything for ourselves whatsoever. And the only non-volunteer we have is someone we have just recently went into to have a person on site, a manager that we pay part-time, who works part-time. Other than that, we have volunteers that work many different types of hours, and we're just grateful for those hours. I guess that we log in hours of people working. There's over 86,000 hours last year that we served, and we made a savings of, you just kind of put the monies together, over $73,000, just not having to have to hire people because they're volunteers. So getting down to what we are proposing, that you asked us to bring a proposal before you, and we got together and shared that